30 hertz straight up.
We should do it. We should do
What
it.
is a moo party?
A muumuu party is where everybody wears a muumuu, and then you bring like a tray that maybe coordinates with your muumuu or something.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm so for it. Like I
Yeah.
have one, I have two, and I'm
Mhm.
like, this feels so good.
Yes.
Not that. Oh, you
It'd be
we you know.
No,
flowing and
we
going.
here now.
Yes.
We here now. We are
Oh my
100%
goodness.
A muumuu
here
But
now.
party.
it's so it's comfortable to sleep in and it's
Mhm.
comfortable to have on.
Yes, and then you get a matching head wrap.
Very girly. Very girly.
Yes.
Back in the day stuff is coming back to comfortability.
As you
Yes.
can see,
Yes.
that we are here and we are all about comfort.
Yes.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Lupus Has No Face. As you can see, we are recording on a different day than normal. Unfortunately, during our normal hours, we had technical difficulties that was outside of our control, but we did not want you to miss out on this phenomenal conversation that we were having. So if you were able to catch at least the first 30 minutes of last episode, you already know we are definitely uh, getting deep today in regards to these topics and these conversations. But you also notice that Mr. Tone Deaf, back on the couch today, controlling the conversations because this conversation requires both our guests and our lovely Savannah Burks to actually give input this time instead of, guiding the ship this time. So how are you ladies doing on this Friday?
Oh, great.
Yeah, doing great.
How
Doing
was y'all
good.
day? Did y'all
Sun
get
shining.
anything done today?
Yeah,
I
almost
got
Okay.
98%.
I had too much done. I'm overloaded.
Okay, so I know you happy for the weekend.
98%.
Definitely know you happy for the weekend.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and let's dive into the topic today. So first of all, want to introduce Miss Kanini McDaniels here with us today. She is here because she is an author, amongst many other things, because she's a serial entrepreneur, just like the rest of us. But we're here today. We're specifically here to talk about her book, which we're going to go a little bit more deeper into. But of course, she's not the only author in the room. As you can see, we are also joined by Savannah and her lovely book here, Living Well with Lupus. Make sure you guys go pick it up. It is available on both the website as well as on the journal. And as you can see today, we have a QR code in the upper corner. Make sure you guys scan the QR code and go and sign up for the 6th annual Lupus Awareness Walk that is coming up May 22nd, 22nd, 23rd, May 23rd. I apologize. Sign up now. Go ahead and get registered. Get everything done in regards to it because this year we're doing it big. We got a lot going on this year, and you definitely don't want to miss out on this one. So if you've attended something before, this is bigger and better than anything you've seen already. So make sure you come and check that out as well too.
Yes,
So Miss Kanini,
Yes, sir.
tell us a little bit about your book. Why did you write this book?
I wrote this book because I found myself after I got divorced, like reflecting on like how did I get here.
Okay.
And so when I really look back at everything, I was like, I gotta talk about this because I kind of did it to myself. You know what I'm saying? That's
accountability.
the part that I realized. And like when you hear a lot of times when people the relationship goes south, you more hear about who did what to who, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I had to really take a deep dive into what did I do to myself. I heard the statement that said you can only control you in a relationship. And I didn't just
Absolutely.
understand that, I overstood that. So
Mm.
once I overstood that statement and I really got to reflecting on, like, dang, okay, this person always who they said they was, always showed up to be a certain way, and I kind of ignored that and wanted to ignore that. And that's the key, wanting to ignore that.
Taking
That's when
responsibility
that's
is
when you
just
get in the circus right there. When you want to ignore the red flags, it's like, okay, raise the big top right there. So that's kind of where I went. That's when I started writing this book. And then I just I just kept hearing this clown reference in my head. I'm like, where is it coming from? But when I understood the concept of what a clown is a willing fool.
Mhm.
And you just be a
Mm.
willing fool to the wrong things. Like, I'm like, okay,
That take
now
a
see what I'm
strong
doing.
woman to even say that out loud.
Yes.
So your confidence got to be. Go ahead, girl.
Thank you.
All right. So you use the metaphor of a carnival
Yeah.
and a clown to describe 25 years of your life. What was the exact moment you realized you were performing in a show that wasn't your own?
It was mainly like, it was after the divorce and just me like figuring out, like, again, like, how did I get here? Like the self-reflection. That's when I realized, like, okay, I kind of did this to myself, because when I started to really, really look back at stuff, like, I was like, man, I ignored that. I ignored that. I made excuses for that. Is the things I made excuses for too that really hit me. And I
Mm.
kind of talk about that in my book too. Like, you get to the point where you start to make excuses for people's behavior,
Mm.
you know. And then, as you step outside of it, I said I was outside the F boy cloud. Okay, I'm out the F boy cloud now. I'm seeing things. They call it rose colored glasses. I
Mhm.
said no, the F boy cloud had the smoke had cleared, and I was seeing things clearly. And I was just like, man, like, I just blatantly ignore certain things, and it was to the point where, sometimes when you get out of a relationship, people start to tell you stuff. Now they feel comfortable telling you the tea. And I was like, dang, y'all knew that or that was going on. And people think like you were okay with it. Cause it's like, how could you not see it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
How could you not see this person was like this or acting like this or was loose or was flirty or was this or is that? And it's like, then when you go back and reflect, like, yeah, they was a little extra flirtatious. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like once I started reflecting, that's when I realized, like, oh man, I kind of did this to myself.
Dang. So they didn't keep it away from you purposely. They was just like, oh, that's what she dealing with. So I say something
Yes.
like, I want to keep her as my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not gonna get into her business.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
All
Absolutely.
right.
That's crazy, ain't it?
It
You'll
is.
be surprised how many people are like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not my business. She'll find out when she's ready to find out.
And I think sometimes too, because you got to think when you've been together for so long, right? And you have couple friends, and y'all
Yeah.
have the guys as friends, the girls as friends, and your couple friends, y'all pillow talking. So your man that told you what was up or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But people don't want to be the one to come between your marriage, your relationship.
For me, I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm a very transparent. I'm honest, but I'm very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
And if I love you and mess with you like that, I'll probably go over how I'm about to deliver it to you,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna let you know. And once I'm not telling you who told me. I'm not doing none of that messy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna tell you what it is because once I tell you, I know it's facts for real.
Right.
And it's your choice to believe it. It's your choice to do your due diligence. But after that, if you keep on, you get one and done with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because what I'm gonna keep telling you for, you
Right.
ain't leaving him. I'm not trying to make you leave him, but what is the point? I already told you, so now you know.
Right.
So I feel like when you do let it out the bad, they shouldn't be holding you accountable to continue to tell them
I
something.
agree.
Yeah.
I have, and sometimes unfortunately what happens, and I've seen this happen too. Sometimes you tell the person, then they go back with that individual, and now you the enemy. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
like
Ain't
how
that
does that
crazy?
That
work?
Like,
happens.
yeah.
That happens more
Yeah.
often than you think.
And they tell the
They
mate
do.
what you said. Like
They tell the mate
now
what you
we
said,
uncomfortable
and
around
he
each other.
convinced you that she's the op, and
And that is how they and that is how they control it.
and that's how they control it.
As the male friend to a lot of women, they will come and ask me for advice.
Mhm.
And I had to get to a point where I don't give them advice.
Mhm.
I help them unpack their own stuff. I let
Right.
them find their own solution, because what will happen is when you tell them the honest to God truth, and if they're not ready to hear it, they will go back and they tell the other person. So now this guy is either A, thinking you're purposely trying to ruin their relationship, or B, playing that I've been trying to get with you the whole time when it was
Mhm.
never that. It's like, look, now at this point in time, what is he doing that makes you think this? What is this? Like, now I just guide you to your own revelation. I don't tell you nothing.
Mhm.
So I don't
Keep
tell
me
you
out of
nothing.
water.
No, I don't tell you nothing, because even though what I'm telling you, I can literally give you a whole video showing, look, this is what it is. Figure it out on your own. And it'd be like, well, Tone don't want us to be together. No, Tone don't give two cares if y'all together or not.
Mhm.
But I can't be your friend and sit here and let you be boo boo the fool either.
Mhm.
So I had to change completely how I even tell people stuff anymore. Like, here, you can find out on your own. So that way you can't say Tone told me. No, Tone didn't tell you nothing. You came to that on your own.
But you know what? That does work. You know
It
why?
does.
Because as a manager, I used to have to use that tactic to
Mhm.
coach employees.
Exactly.
You know, I can't tell you, okay, meet this goal. Then you don't meet it. Then it's like, okay, meet this goal and you're not meeting it. So what I have to do is say, how many accounts do you think you can get this week?
Exactly.
And then when you tell me what you think you can do and then you don't do it, now I can hold you accountable to that, you know? So it's all it goes back
That's
to
all it is.
accountability.
I don't give advice no more. I coach.
Yep.
I coach people to their own resolution. That way you got here on your own. But speaking of people, how do you define the carnival of toxic love to someone who might be in the middle of it right now and don't realize it?
Ooh. Ooh. You know what I realize is that I hate to say it, but a lot of people do realize they're in something toxic, but they just don't want to.
They like it.
And that's the other
Mm.
thing too. A lot of people are comfortable with it. They don't know nothing else, and they don't want to know nothing else.
Codependent.
They're codependent.
Codependent.
Mhm.
And that's where the relationship stays stagnant.
Mhm.
She ain't gonna never grow. You ain't gonna never grow. Y'all gonna do
Mhm.
things, but it's just gonna be a revolving door because
Mhm.
y'all both are toxic together, but don't want to let each other go either.
Mhm. And a lot of people do it out of loneliness. Loneliness is is something else.
It is powerful.
Let me tell you, that's why I got a dog. I got a dog. That's why I got a dog. Honestly, because of the simple fact. So for me, I said when I got divorced, I didn't want to date anyway, right away. Number one, I wanted to make sure I wasn't codependent. I was with this person since high school. I went from living with my mama and my daddy to somebody who came my husband.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure I wasn't codependent on, like, I just had to have someone in my life. And then it's, you miss the companionship, right? Like the loneliness is caused, I feel, by a void of the companionship. But I had to realize you can have companionship another way with your friends, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? My mom, she's like my road dog. And then my dog. Like, I go everywhere with my dog. I drove to Texas with my dog, you know what I'm saying? The Airbnb gotta accept the dog.
Get the paperwork. Did you get the
I'm
paperwork?
gonna get the paperwork.
I
I
got the
take her to
paperwork.
work. Okay, sometimes I'm like, I need my dog today. I'm bringing her to work. But I mean, honestly, it's the loneliness. I've seen a lot of people just accept the bare minimum out of just being lonely. And you just have to be comfortable being on your own. Like, it's the difference between being lonely and just being by yourself and just learning how
Existence
to
in your
love and
world.
be by yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely is a difference.
It is.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of that, piggybacking off of you, is we don't understand the importance of intimacy.
Mhm.
And the fact that intimacy is more than just a physical thing, it's an emotional, mental thing. So as a lot of people are getting older and their need for that intimacy, it's causing them to either introduce new people in their lives that they have no purpose for, or go back to familiarity,
Mhm.
even though they will know, like, I shouldn't be dealing with this person because there is so much bad here, so much red flag here, but it's all I know, and they know me enough that I can at least get this feeling out of my system. We've
Mhm.
all been there. We've all been
Mhm.
there.
Oh no, we all have not.
We all,
Speak for yourself, because
we all have
no,
been there. You
no,
might have just not realized it until
don't,
now, but we've all been there.
absolutely not.
Mhm. Everybody's been there.
No,
All right.
Why you say no?
because I don't deal with who I don't want to deal with.
Okay.
I am a person that you cannot disturb my peace.
Mhm.
You cannot come in my world and cause me chaos.
Mhm.
Like, I would not deal with that just to have you around.
Mhm.
Ain't no way in the world.
Yeah.
Because I can't get over. I have to say how I feel.
Mhm. Mhm.
So there's no way.
But just
And
saying how
see,
you feel doesn't necessarily mean you remove them out your life either, though.
Oh yes, I have and do.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, no. I'm speaking general because we got a show we're talking about. So.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Like, I cannot. I will not. I would not interrupt my peace just to be
And
in somebody's face. I'll go out every day.
and I'm
That's
glad
how
you're
I
there,
fill my void.
because this
My
question
friends,
is for
I'll go
you.
out. I'll take trips. I'll do stuff.
Yes.
But to be around somebody that I just know that's like, no.
Well,
Mhm.
the good thing you're talking, because this question is for you, which literally is going to piggyback off of that. As a lupus warrior, you talk about the toll of emotional trauma that can take on the body. How does your physical flare-ups mirror the chaos in relationships?
It mirrors it because it's very unpredictable, very emotional on both sides. Having an autoimmune disease can be a shining star, and it can be a doomy day, just like a
Mhm.
relationship. You can be so in love and you can be so heartbroken in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the unpredictableness, the uncertainness, the not know where you're trying to go, I think it does go hand in hand for me, if I can say that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
This is for both of y'all. In your experience, can you truly hear physically if you're still emotionally acting as a fool in a toxic environment?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
I
Because
just-
your mind is the catalyst
exactly.
to, everything. It
Right.
starts there, your thoughts, and then your emotions and your body start to react. So you cannot.
Okay.
Even if it's temporary, you're gonna go back to being a mess.
Yes, she is.
That is true. That is definitely true. All
I
right.
agree with you.
So, Savannah, for those fighting invisible battles like lupus, why is it so much more dangerous to stay in a high stress, toxic environment?
Because stress can kill you instantly. That's just period. Stress is not good for a person with autoimmune disease. Yelling is not good for a person with an autoimmune disease. And speaking of lupus, you can be yelling and have a stroke in mid while you're
Oh my
yelling.
goodness.
So your body you get overwhelmed
Mhm.
and you're causing yourself to be sick, literally. But people do not understand that. Being mad, being stressed, anything of that nature cause you to be will cause you to be sick and could end up in a hospital or death.
Mhm.
And that's for you people listening. That's not just only an autoimmune disease. Stress can kill,
Anybody.
period.
Anybody.
Majority of the medical complications that African Americans suffer from on a day-to-day basis can tie back to stress. So go to the doctor. Just go to the doctor, period. I don't care. If you're not happy, go to the doctor.
And we have our thoughts. You know what I mean? Like self-care, go take a walk. Go get
Mhm.
massages. Like, you have to build that self-care within your life, your routine. It has to be a part of your routine
Mhm.
because it relieves what you got going on. It puts you back in your normal mind set of thinking.
I think people don't really realize how important peace is. Like for me, I said I was gonna start dating this year, right?
Okay.
And then I'd be like, oh no, because I love my peace. You know what I'm saying? I love my peace. And my tolerance is low because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real low. Like, it could be a red dot and I don't want to deal with you. It gotta be a red blanket. But it could be a red dot. And I don't want to do it no more.
Right.
So I mean, it's just like once you hit that peace part, because I've been through the stress. I was diabetic and I went from borderline to full blown diabetic with stress.
Mhm.
My A1C doubled in 30 days.
Ooh.
It doubled in 30 days. I went from like a 7 to like a 14. And anybody who's diabetic know that's really high.
Very high.
And I had to instantly go on insulin. And so, and to make it so bad, and if you get the book, you'll get this story. I was planning because again, like, okay, when you stressed and you going through some, not even your emotions, but your self esteem goes down to the pits. So I'm like, I'm gonna have this BBL done. I'm gonna be out in these streets. Okay, I'm gonna be in these streets. Watch me, watch me. And then, but the Lord said no, because I ended up finding out I was diabetic, and they was like, no, you're not getting anything done. I would have been botched, okay, out here looking real botched, and it would have been real bad. So
BBL, that's
it's just funny how
wow.
just things like
Yeah.
that work. But yeah, the stress just took me from like just took me over the line, and to make it so bad, I was losing weight like crazy. I had nothing to transfer. Okay, I would have to borrow some meat. Like, let me borrow, let me borrow some fat. Somebody.
That is
It's
crazy.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
That's
crazy work.
crazy work.
Okay.
Yes.
So since we're talking about red flags, the book outlines 10 red flags. Without giving all of them away, which one was the most difficult to you to admit was a problem at the time?
I didn't have boundaries. It's the first chapter. It's the boundaries, because it's very hard. You always set boundaries when you go into a relationship with anybody, friendship, family, whatever. You're always setting these boundaries. But then when you start letting your boundaries slide or your boundaries are weak, and you say you're not going to tolerate something, but then you are tolerating because people are always going to test your boundaries,
Mhm.
right? And you just realizing like you did not have the boundaries is just that was the biggest red flag for me.
And see, for me, like, if I can just piggyback off that, boundaries for me are important. Like,
Mhm.
he'd tell you, I come into any new friendship, relationship, anybody that's new into my world, I tell them exactly how I am, because
Mhm.
I'm not for everybody.
Right.
A lot of people think I'm a lot to deal with, but I'm not. I'm just probably too much for you to deal with. And I don't let people, when they try to test my boundaries, even though they don't purposely do it, because we all human, I
Mhm.
have that conversation because I don't like how I feel.
Mhm.
So it's not okay for me to go to bed and feel like this and you don't know what you did to me.
Mhm.
I'll be right away. He'll tell you like right away. Like I
Mhm.
just
I don't
my
know what you're
feelings
talking about.
are activated immediately.
Mhm.
So boundaries are big for me.
See, and then me on the other end, this is like this is why I said I'm like I went in hiatus because I want to work on myself, right? Because I'm the type of person I let stuff fester and then I blow up.
See, and that's
You
not
see,
good.
and that's not good.
And that's how
And
my
then I'm
girl's mom was
done.
like
Now you
that.
get dust. I'm done. Okay.
My girl's mom was like that, and we used to have a conversation about how can I improve what you have a problem with if I don't know it was a problem in the moment. So when you blow up, and this is just I told her just in general, like when you blow up, I'm sitting there looking at you like, well, what's wrong? You've allowed like it wasn't a problem the other 5 times.
Mhm.
This was a situation
Mhm.
because I didn't think it was a problem because you didn't speak up on it at the time.
Mhm.
So the one thing I will give credit with the partnership that me and Savannah has, it is refreshing that she does express herself right away.
Mhm.
That way I know right away this is an issue or this is how you look at it. So therefore, when it comes back up, I may stop in that moment and be like, okay, I can see why this is an issue.
Mhm.
Or I can see it from her point of view. It's like, you know what? Let me try it this way to look at it from her point of view. And it's more so a learning thing more than anything. Because even though I might look at it from her point of view and do it, I'll be like, no, that's still stupid. So it still don't make no
I
sense.
get you.
But but we're able to have that moment where at least I took in consideration the viewpoint so I understand why it's looking this way. So when I do decide to do it the way that makes sense to me, and she's like, well, why didn't you do it this way? I can now give her an honest answer. And then she may be like, okay, that makes sense now. Now I see why you did it this way.
Mhm.
And it's that growth. It's the way you can develop that bond. And even though it's a boundary, and I think a lot of people need to understand this, boundaries are not always a bad thing.
Absolutely not.
Right.
They're not always a bad thing. A boundary sometimes needs to be created in order for an understanding to be developed.
Agreed.
It can come from a traumatic experience, but it also can come from a realization of where you want to be and how you want to get there.
Mhm.
So I may not allow nobody to call me Sunday before noon because I need to set that boundary because I need this time to unpack what just happened that last week so I can give you the best of me the following week. So boundaries are there for a good reason.
And not to be on this topic for too long, but some people hear the word boundaries, but they don't really understand what it is. So they try to
Exactly.
implement it to seem a certain type of way
Mhm.
and or the trauma, right?
Mhm.
I'm not responsible for your trauma. So that boundary you have is not meant for me. So boundaries change depending on who you are dealing with.
Right. Yes. And just one other thing about boundaries too. One other thing about boundaries. I always say, because we talked about this last time. A lot of times people don't implement because boundaries are meant to also weed out those people who don't respect.
High five.
Exactly.
Get rid of them
You know
quick.
what I'm saying? Get rid of them. But a lot of people keep pushing their boundaries back because they don't realize, like, they still want to deal with the person and they don't realize, like, the person got to go. You know what I'm saying? But you still want to deal with them for whatever reason. Could be your toxicness.
It's the
But-
value. They
but-
have a value.
Right. And so you still want to deal with this person, but the boundaries are meant to weed out people who don't belong in your life.
For sure.
Y'all just really made me have to pivot so much, right? I had a flow and y'all made me pivot, but that's cool. It's a beautiful thing. Y'all answered a few questions already. All right. So how do you distinguish between rough patches and a healthy relationship and a genuine red flag?
Ooh. I would say rough patches. Okay, so I learned that real forgiveness is a change in behavior. Not just saying you're sorry, but actually changing in behavior. In order to change, you got to take accountability. You got to make the plan to change. So I feel like with a rough patch, if you're like, okay, we're going through a rough patch, but we're going to get through this by changing the behavior that's got us in this rough patch, right? But I feel like it's a red flag when, number one, sometimes there's certain things that makes this person like this that we maybe didn't realize or we chose to ignore. And then there's no changed behavior. You know, a lot of times people change for the moment and then they change back. Oh, you good now? Oh, you over it? Okay. Back to the regular scheduled program, you know? And I just feel like that's between the difference between the red flag and the rough patch.
Okay.
You know, my opinion.
People gotta want to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a problem with this specific person and I'm letting them know like how they made me feel. And they're saying sorry, but I'm like, do you understand that? Because if you don't understand why it making me feel this way and kind of seeing it from my point of view, you're not going to change. You're just saying sorry to get over whatever is to get over with. And some people, like the red flags, are just toxic. They want to change in those moments and then go back and do the double dutch game. And it's like, no, you know, you got to get this out of your system. And I show you grace, give you 90 days because you've been doing this probably all of your life. Nobody never spoke up and took all of this abuse that you're doing. So I'll give you 90 days, you know, to make that change. But if not, it's kind of like you don't want to. It's a choice. You know what I mean?
I'll be someone who will be transparent right now. With my marriage, I was definitely a few red flags. And even though I would own up to where I made my mistakes at and stuff like that, because there was no sign that I needed to make an active change, sometimes I did inadvertently go back to the same behaviors because my life had already been based around the way I was moving. So to return back to that was just a natural progress. But it wasn't until one day when I sat down, I had to ask myself, why going back to this seems to be easier to do than to just rectify the issue to not be a problem at all.
Because negative is very easy. Being good is hard. It comes with work.
Can I tell my own? Damn, I don't even want to talk no more. Because literally that's what I was going to say. Oh my God.
Negative is so easy for people
But
to
it
do.
is. And that's what I was going to say. And a lot of times it is easier for us to go back to the negative, which now the word this day and age is the toxic behaviors,
Mhm.
because it's normalcy. Toxicity is the normalcy of the world, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So it's easier
Mhm.
for us to go back and do the things that we were doing because it just made sense. But getting to what that individual's feelings are, caring about how they view things, and then literally incorporating someone into your decision making to go from the you and I to the we, that's a whole change that a lot of people
Oh
are
my
having a
goodness.
difficulty with,
Mhm.
because you have to make decisions based off of what the other person is valued or important to it as well too.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it was difficult, because I will say that at the time there was a lot of me and you
Mhm.
in the marriage and not so much
The we.
us, you know.
Right.
And because the me and you carried a large portion of the relationship, now you want we, but you haven't given we energy, so now
Right.
you expect me to
We
stop.
energy.
Like, you haven't been giving me we energy, so,
Exactly.
and we energy is high, so
Exactly. It's
take that
real
whatever
high.
way you want to. But
It's real
but
high.
it made a big difference, and it did cause us to have to restructure and figure out exactly what are we doing here. So enough about me. This ain't my show.
But you know what? Also, too, a lot of times, especially when it comes to like being comfortable in your behavior, people feel justified in that because how they were raised.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a whole
And
nother.
that's
That's
I,
that's
that's a
that's
Topic on
another
that.
show.
yeah. I mean, and
That's a panel
that's
discussion.
why in the book I go chapter 2 is your family and your background, because of the simple fact like how people deal with stuff, how they deal with stress. A lot of times it's learned behavior. And this is why you always can't be Bob the Builder and think you look. I'm not doing it with nobody. That's why I say my tolerance is low.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna build nobody. You need to come built. You need to come built. I'm not building a man. I'm done. My construction boots have been put away. Okay. I don't do construction. I'm in my soft hand era, and I'm not doing construction. I'm not building nobody. Come built. I'm going to be 47 this year. Come built.
That reminds me, I have a friend who makes this statement every time. She's like, I'm not looking for a man with potential, come potential already. Like, come
Right.
potential already, and then we
No.
can go from there. And I always laugh when she said that, but I get it.
Right.
I definitely get it. Like, we're at this big old age where we ain't got time to help you unpack your shit
Exactly.
in a
No.
brand new house,
No.
you know?
And then a lot
I
of
don't have time
times,
for that.
a lot of men, you want to lead. You know what I'm saying? You're not leading me to hell. You're not leading me to the road to nowhere. And that's the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna
All
let's go
men.
ahead and let's pivot. Let's pivot now because this we finna go in a whole another. Let's pivot.
We
Let's
gotta do
pivot.
another.
Let's just pivot because that is woo child,
You
woo
just keep me
child.
going.
For someone who feels they've wasted years in a circus, how do you help them see those years as a testament to resilience rather than a loss?
Ooh, I heard the statement, it's either a lesson or a blessing. So for me, it was more of a lesson.
Okay.
And the thing is, what you have to do is the things that you gotta look at the lesson as what you need to learn about yourself, right? I learned that I let my boundaries slide. I learned that I was an enabler. Just things that I just learned about yourself. So I think like the lesson is when you feel like you wasted, of course you're gonna feel like you wasted your time. And this is why a lot of people don't even leave relationships because they don't want to feel like they wasted their time or they're taking an L. But you have to be able to look at the lesson because there is, if it's not a blessing, that's just what it is. It's a lesson. It's something that you need to learn behind that. And then you have to do better. You know, I had heard somebody say, like, I want different, so I got to do different. A lot of times we just end up doing the same thing over and over and over again. So the lesson for me is like, how can I do different so I get different results? I don't want the same results. And I am not insane, okay? I'm not going to keep the same thing expecting different results. I
Right.
refuse to be insane. So I want different results. So I got to learn the lesson so I can do different.
And no, that's come with knowing yourself too, because a lot of people will spend their entire life existing and never know who they are. So if you don't know who you are, how can a person treat you what you requiring, right?
Exactly.
So that's another thing too. So you have to not find, because women don't find, but we have to attract the people that treats us how we want to be treated. If we want to be soft and gentle, and a man is doing the manly things, we have to attract that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think a lot of people don't even know what they want.
They don't know who
They
they
don't
are.
even know who they are. So, like for me, I realized through this process too a lot of stuff that I did like and I didn't like, and stuff that I like because of him. So like I smoke a lot of weed. Like you call me Snoop Doggy Dog girl, okay? I was smoking, okay?
This is the judge free zone over here.
I was going to smoke. I would have been in here. I would have left with the blunt. And let me tell you, I was rolled. I would call myself La Perla because I'm gonna roll that. And I've been to every state where it's legal. Okay, I can tell you all about it.
Okay.
But I realized after I got divorced, like I haven't smoked in like 3 years now. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge anybody that do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Do your thing. But I just realized it just wasn't for me. Honestly, weed would start to make me dumb. I would like start forgetting stuff mid sentence. I'd be like, I would sleep all the time. I wouldn't have been able to write this book. I tell you that much. I would have been watching Love and Hip Hop, eating a whole bunch of stuff, and going to sleep. That was my routine. But after I just was able to quit, and I quit cold turkey. Like once the weed was gone, I just stopped smoking. I didn't buy no more, and I just stopped smoking.
Because
that wasn't who
that
need.
wasn't really who I was.
That wasn't who you was without him. That's the same thing
Right.
for me as drinking. Like my ex used to drink, and I just
Mhm.
like, I always gotta have some liquor, and so I started drinking.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I like how I feel when I do drink, so I continue to do whatever it is that I'm doing. But at the end of the day, like I said, I know who I am because I was sick at an early age.
Mhm.
So that's what made me, learn wwho I was, because I had so much alone time.
Yeah.
So I can say easily what I'm gonna put away, what I'm not gonna put away, and I'm sticking to it. So I don't got,
Mhm.
who got time
I
for
used to drink a lot too. Every day it was shot o'clock. We was the party house, okay? Like everybody came to our house to get rid of the kids. We got the hookah going. We doing shots. We got the fire pit out. We just it's party, all the time. It was batty shot o'clock all the time. And now I don't like drinking alone. I drink to be sociable.
Social.
Like when
Mhm.
I'm out, like right now, like have a glass of wine, or go to Cooper's Hog, do some wine tasting, stuff like that. But I don't have to have a drink. But before it was like it's always a bottle in the house. We we drink it.
The wild world. Just my mind went. I just had so many flashbacks. That's how I ain't used to be. I'm nowhere near who I used to be, because everything you just described, I don't even do that no more either. If it wasn't for Wednesdays, I probably would never drink. Now, hookah on the other hand,
Well,
a whole another story. All right. So since we moving and grooving right now, setting boundaries, because that's what we talked about earlier, can feel like betraying the person we love. How do you overcome the guilt of finally saying no to those situations where you used to let slide? This ain't for you, because you be having boundaries 3 days in advance. So like you ain't even met the person, but somehow they already got your ebook for your boundaries. So
that's right.
we're not even gonna ask you.
Right.
This is for her.
Look, I need that. I think at some point you have to realize like you're betraying yourself.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? When you keep letting your boundaries slide, and yes, you're forgiving this person. Like I start to realize, like, dang, I'm not getting reciprocated what I'm giving out. Like I can forgive you, but if some little happen, it's like a blow up. You know what I'm saying? So, I just think you start to see this person's real strong on their boundaries, but expect you to be weak on yours. So I think at sometimes you have to realize that you are betraying yourself when you don't like you're more concerned with at some point you got to be concerned with you. If you're not more concerned, and that's another thing I had to learn, like you got to love you how you expect to be loved. You can't tell somebody I want you to love me like this and I'm not even loving myself like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that was like a realization for me, like, like, dang, I'm not even like, I'm putting everything into you. I'm not, who's pouring into me?
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? Who's pouring into me? So, and then you be drained and looking a hot mess, and they really don't want to deal with you then.
I'm weak.
All right. So piggybacking off of that, now that
Oh my
you've
God.
discovered these things about you,
Mm-hmm.
what does true authenticity look like for you today? Now that the clown costume is gone.
Woo. I think for me it's just like the book. It's like my truth, right? Just telling my truth, telling my experience. I'm still learning. Like I tell people, I ain't all the way healed yet because I be having flashbacks. Like I
Ooh.
ain't all the way
We
healed.
need to get you a therapist.
Yeah.
We got a few of them on
Yes.
deck. What kind of therapist you want?
Yes. So you like, and I'm open to therapy and all of that, but I just say like I'm healing. I'm healing. I'm going through the process. But like I still have some trust issues. I gotta try and like not be in my head about certain things, and that's another reason why I just said like I'm just not gonna be jumping out here and dating because as soon as you
Hmm.
don't call me and it's like you told me you was gonna call me back and you ain't called me. Now my head is saying all sorts of stuff, and then I want to be blowing up your phone. But I have to restrain from doing that because I'm not trying to be that person. So, um, I just think like it's it's a process. It's a process.
If I can say something,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that comes with patience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's your boundary, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
can tell someone like, listen, because of X, Y, and Z, and I know you new to coming into my life, but if you say you're going to do something, do it. I'm going to expect that. Or if not, this is how I'm going to start reacting towards you. At least they know what is coming. And then that way, one, two, three. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're not respecting or being considerate of my issues that I have going on. And that's fair.
Right.
That's fair if you have a disclaimer out there that you have trust issues.
Right.
But you also got to check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it really them? They haven't did nothing to me yet.
Right.
Let me allow them to mess up first
Yes.
and then put it on them. But
Yes.
that takes a lot of patience
It
with
do.
yourself, a lot
I
of
be
grace
having to
with
go
yourself.
walk the dog. Let me go
I,
walk the
I
dog.
am so glad a woman is saying that because if a man told
Let me
another
go to the
woman
park.
that, whoo, child, this world would be blowed
You
up
gotta
by
calm
now.
yourself
I
down because
do.
we trapping in our own mind is the worst you can ever be trapped in your
Yes.
own mind. That
Yes.
plays so many tricks on you. It's not even funny, but
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole nother topic, baby.
Yes, the name of that episode will be called the Crash Out episode
Yes.
because that's exactly what people do. It ain't got nothing
I
to do
heard a
with
saying
nothing.
that says stop romanticizing the crash out.
Ooh.
Ooh. I was like, ooh.
That's social media fault right there. Social media does that all the time. That people feel like you're supposed to crash out in every single situation.
Right.
I'm
Until
too
you
old
end
for
up
that.
in jail. I don't like no
Mm-hmm.
jail.
I'm too old.
Yeah. Me either.
All right, so this is for both of y'all. If you can go back 25 years and whisper one sentence to your younger self, what would it be?
Don't give a man longer than a year.
Yeah. I'll be like, girl, keep moving. Don't do it.
Dating
Don't
for
do
me,
it.
I never dated before. Like, and to me, dating is dating multiple people to
Mm-hmm.
see who is more comfortable for your life.
Mm-hmm.
But when you tell somebody you dating, the men that know what they want, you're not about to get a chance with them because they like, I'm not going to be spending my time with you while you spending your time with him and my money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. People don't know what dating is. They don't know what dating is, and so a lot of people don't accept dating. But
Mm-hmm.
if it was me back in my years, I would have dated so I can
Mm-hmm.
pick and choose. I had some good ones though, but I still would have did my thing back then.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I wish I would have waited till I had more confidence. I feel like when I was in high school, like my confidence levels went up and down. So I grew up in the era, it's light skin, dark skin, as a dark skin. So my mom is from Africa. We went to Africa. When I came back, I felt like I was super black and nobody wanted me. Okay, and then
Girl.
when my body changed, it's like, oh, all the guys they don't care about my blackness now. But then, but I went through like a self-conscious type thing. It was always in the back of my head, like. And I think like I really feel like I should have just really got to just love myself if I can go back, I would just say love yourself more. Don't date. You ain't gotta be in a relationship. And I felt like when I did start dating my exes, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling myself that year. I ain't gonna lie. I had a lot of like suitors. But I
Wild.
just decided to just like how people like demons kind of
Mm-hmm.
I don't play with demons no more. Okay, that's all angels over here. But like what you're lacking kind of like like it kind of attracts, you know what I'm saying, like.
Right.
And now I just kind of feel like I just wish I would have just like not even dated in high school and just enjoyed just being in high school. Like I feel like I was grown. We was working. We was buying cars. We was trying to hustle and like we was like an old married couple, like already. Like
That's
I just
wild.
wish I
Wow.
would have just enjoyed the experience. I want to go to college. I wanted to be like in Spelman and school days and be stepping at the college and doing all of that. And I never really got to experience that. I
Mm.
just felt like I just couldn't really be me. I felt like I was somebody else. I was who I thought he wanted me to be and not me.
I feel like you are probably getting that experience now. You just got to think,
Yes.
because how we view the experience that we want, it doesn't always happen that way. And
Hmm.
so at this point right now, you like radiant, you're beautiful, you're doing your
Thank
thing and
you.
all of the things. So I think if you like was to be in bed one day or walking the dog and be like, am I getting the same experience that I would have had if I went to like X, Y, and Z? And it's
Hmm.
the excitement, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hmm.
All right,
Definitely.
all right. We getting close to the end, so we gotta go back. We gotta go back to the whole purpose of this show. We gotta ask these lupus questions. All right, all right. How can friends and family support a lupus warrior who they suspect is trapped in a toxic cycle without pushing them further into their mask?
Whoa, that is a
Mm.
loaded one.
That's why
How
it's
can my family and friends support me if they think that I am in a toxic environment without
without basically, in so many words, making you push back.
for me, I would have to say, if they was to ever hear me argue, if they was to ever hear me yell, if they start seeing me not being who Savannah is, to have that uncomfortable conversation with me, because I'm all about uncomfortable conversations. Say, yo, let's go have brunch, let's go walk, let's go do something, and bring it to me the best way you know how.
Hmm.
Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, I know the good and the bad about myself. So if you get to speaking that to me, I'm already knowing what you're talking about. But
Hmm.
I will take heat to that because it's like, dang, now the world is seeing what I'm doing because I do care about my image. So the
Hmm.
best way to support me is to have that uncomfortable conversation with me. Come talk to me. Text, email, whatever you feel comfortable with doing, but come talk to me.
Hmm.
Well, we do that all the time anyway, so you ain't got to worry about that with me.
That's it.
I'm big on it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
This is why also sometimes I let stuff fester before I bust out because I know if I just say it how I want to say it, it ain't gonna come out right. So I need to think about it a little bit. Not necessarily that's why I like call it letting it stew, but I'm really like, how do I want to approach this situation, dude? Because I don't want to crash out. I don't want to be belligerent. I don't want to like be inconsiderate. How do I approach it? So
All facts.
I used to do something. Well, I still do in a sense. I do what I call a hot text. So I go to my journal, I write out all my feelings and notes, form it nicely, and then I copy and paste it because then I can't be interrupted. I'm letting you know how I feel. We don't have to argue about it. We could discuss it, but now you at least know where I stand.
I like it. I don't care if it's bad, whatever. Come talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I give a 24-hour window just to make sure I'm not doing too much because I like the process. Like, how did we get here? So
Mm-hmm.
I'll give myself 24 hours before I have that conversation because at the end of the day, it may not be as big as I think it is. It
Mm-hmm.
may be one sided. Hell, it may be you just reminded me of something I dealt with my mama 8 years ago. That's not your fault. So I don't always, I like to give myself 24 hours. If 24 hours later, whatever it is still bothering me, now we got to have a conversation because at that point in time, it is something between me and you, not the other things. All right. So we are
For
at the end
sure.
of this episode. I have one question left for you, Kanini.
Yeah.
What do you want the legacy of Blinded by Pride to be for the next generation of women?
Ooh.
I told you I came ready
Ooh.
today. I had it.
You know, I did write this book because again, it's an interactive book, right? You
Right.
got to put the clown pieces on the clown face, right? And I did write it with young women in mind. And the reason why I did it, I feel like, especially our generation, right? Like our parents were strict. We was kind of like had to be real self-sufficient, and we was working and buying our own clothes and doing all that. And I feel like because of that, we, from what I can see with a lot of my friends, and even with me and my dog, we real we real laxed on the discipline side, and a lot of us is still like in the clubs and stuff with our kids and our nieces. Like she's 20, my niece 21, I'm 47. We went out not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Our leopard print outfits, and but at the same time, I feel like it still has to be we gotta guide them. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be having a toxic experience and you having a toxic experience and we just drinking and talking about it and nothing is getting, nobody can't guide
Nobody's
anybody,
has a resolution.
So I did write this book with young women in mind to kind of just say, look, this is what you should look for based on experience.
That's what I love to hear. So
So
since we here, and you're not the only author here,
Yeah.
Savannah, the same question for you. You wrote this beautiful book over here, which is available on Amazon. So if you don't scan the code up there, people, you can scan the code you see right here on the TV as well to go ahead and make sure you pick this up. Available everywhere. What legacy do you want for the next generation of people with the living guy with lupus?
I want them to understand that you have a norm within your norm.
Okay.
A lot of individuals that are sick always say, I want to be normal. You can't live a healthy life with any illness that you have. You have to find
What
your
normal is.
community, and you got to find what your normal is. So learn your blood type. It's very educational to understand that what you're thinking is not crazy. Let that come out out your mouth. Be your own advocate. Stand up for yourself. Question these doctors, these therapists, any doctor. Question them, because some people just have that title. They just come to work, and some of them are wonderful doctors. So be loud for yourself. Understand that you can ask for tests. Understand that you have the choice to switch your insurance however many times to get the doctors that you want in your network. So I just want to educate the community. Don't just accept your diagnosis. Learn it, accept it, read about it, educate yourself, journal, see how you feel when you're eating certain things, allow the medicine to work. The doctors are only as good as you are. So and it's a trial and error. So if you weigh this amount and you're this age and you're feeling like X, Y, and Z, they're going to put you on this milligram, and you at least give it 3 months. How you feel when you wake up, how you feel in the midday, how you feel when you ate that, and let them know like this dose ain't proper for me. So they're either gonna go up or they're gonna go down. But you have to help your doctors help you, and doctors do not know everything. So stop going in and thinking because they have the DR behind their name that they're just going to fix your problem. You have to fix your problem.
This is true.
That is very
So we'd like to thank Kanini for joining us today.
Yes.
I'd like to thank me for being an awesome
Thank you
host.
for having me.
So before we get out of here, is there anything that either one of you ladies would like to share with the world?
Wow. You guys know Lupus Has No Face is doing a host of things in Lupus Awareness Month that's coming up in May. So of course, please do register for the walk on May 23rd. It's gonna be super dope. We're gonna have entertainment. We're gonna, of course, educate you, and we're gonna walk. Okay, y'all gonna leave their field, okay, in every way in capacity. We have the panel discussion coming up with a host of people. We have the informational coming up, and all this is in May. So please look out on the website or on my social media to get the upcoming dates. We are looking for volunteers.
Yes.
We do need volunteers.
Please
you
come
guys.
help because I'm not doing everything this year.
We do need volunteers. If you do not want to volunteer or be a part of anything, just please share. That is totally free. We got the Thanksgiving turkey drive that we do with the gift cards. We got the Christmas give back that's coming up in December. So we do something quarterly, and everything that we give back to the community, we want to educate you as well. So the money that you guys spend on the coaching sessions or the t-shirts or any apparel things that you may get for the Lupus Has No Face, as you guys been seeing for the last 6 years, we do put that money back out in the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, definitely love your support with the book again. It's to help you learn more about you, take accountability for where you're at in your relationship, and do better. And let's be an example to other women. I feel like women, we got to go back to being the prize. Like we got to go back to being the prize. Okay?
Yes.
That's probably a whole nother conversation, but
yes.
we really do. Okay. And also too, I'm a business relationship manager for BMO, always holding sessions where I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help entrepreneurs. So we do have a event coming up on the 16th at the BMO Tower. Make sure you register. It's on my Facebook. This is with Miss Rita Lee of the Empowerment Group. So it's Empower and Network, giving out great business resources. BMO also has a grant for women businesses and businesses that support women. It's $10,000. It's free money. Get that money. Just turn that side hustle to a business. Like, let's get it, y'all. Like, let's get it.
And we will
all
definitely
about
be at
that.
those events.
Yes.
So we
Definitely
definitely
at
will
those
be there. We're
events.
already registered.
Yeah.
So with that being said, people, make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms. That's Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to your podcast. Go back and watch previous ones on the YouTube channels. That is LHNF Podcast. Or you just go to TDR Network and we can find all the podcasts here. Make sure you follow Savannah at LHNF 2020 on all of the things. And with that being said, people, we are out of here. Peace.